The restaurant was full that evening. People were talking, laughing, and enjoying their food. But in the middle of all this noise, one person looked completely out of place. Mia, the young waitress. She moved from table to table with small, careful steps, always looking down, never meeting anyone's eyes. Her body looked tired, and her hands were shaking softly, like she was fighting something inside her. Most customers didn't notice her at all. Some were too busy with their phones. Some were too busy complaining about their food. But there was one person who noticed everything, a little girl named Lily. Lily sat at a corner table with her mother. She had big curious eyes and a soft face. While other children her age would play with crayons or watch cartoons on a phone, Lily just kept watching Mia. It was not normal staring. It was the kind of attention that comes when someone feels something is wrong. Mia came to Lily's table and placed 2 glasses of water. Her hands were so unsteady that the water almost spilled. She quickly pulled her hand back and whispered, "Sorry," without looking up. Most people would ignore that small moment. But Lily did not. As Mia walked away, Lily's eyes followed her. She noticed Mia's wrist. There was a dark bruise, partly hidden under the sleeve of her shirt. It looked fresh and painful. Lily frowned. "Mom," she whispered, "that girl is sad." Her mother barely looked up. "Sweetheart, don't stare at people. It's rude." "But Mom, she is not okay," Lily said again. Her mother sighed, thinking it was just a child's imagination. "She's just tired. Now eat your food." But Lily did not stop watching. She saw how Mia stood near the kitchen doors for a moment, taking a deep breath like she was trying not to cry. She saw how other waiters walked past her without talking. She saw how the manager gave her angry looks for no reason. She saw how Mia kept touching her wrist, like she wanted to cover the bruise before anyone asked. Every small detail, Lily caught it. Meanwhile, Mia was fighting her own storm. She had been working since morning with hardly any rest. Her feet hurt, her heart felt heavy, and she carried a deep shame inside her, something she could not explain to anyone. Whenever a customer complained, Mia would just bow her head and whisper sorry. Whenever someone laughed at her mistake, she would pretend she didn't hear it. She had learned to keep her pain hidden. She had learned to survive quietly. But Lily could see the truth. Another waitress walked by with a tray full of drinks. Mia tried to help by opening the kitchen door for her. But the manager suddenly shouted, "Mia! Stop standing like a statue. Move faster." Mia whispered again, "Sorry, sir." Her voice was so soft that even the table closest to her didn't hear. But Lily heard it. The little girl leaned forward on her chair and whispered to herself, "Why is she scared?" A minute later, Mia returned to their table with the food. As she placed the plates down, Lily noticed her hands shaking again. This time the girl gently asked, "Are you okay?" Mia froze. No customer had asked her that question all day. She slowly lifted her eyes, just for a second, and met Lily's gaze. There was kindness in those small eyes, something Mia had not seen in a long time. But before Mia could answer, her manager called loudly, "Mia! Table 7 is waiting." Mia quickly looked down again and hurried away, almost tripping in her rush. Lily's mother shook her head. "See. She is just busy. Don't worry about her." But Lily kept watching. And in her soft child voice, she whispered, "Mom, no one sees her. But I do." At that moment, Lily did not know that she was about to change the waitress's life. She only felt that something was wrong. And she was right. Because the thing she noticed, the thing no one else saw, was the beginning of a truth that would soon shock everyone in that restaurant. Mia walked back into the kitchen with a fast, shaky breath. She leaned on the wall for a moment, trying to calm her heart. Her chest felt tight, and her hands would not stop trembling. She told herself the same thing she told every day, "Just keep going, you have no choice." But no matter how many times she repeated it, the pain inside her did not disappear. She had become an expert at hiding it, but today, her mask was slipping. Inside the kitchen, the cook shouted at her, "Mia! Pick up order 5. It's getting cold." She nodded quickly, not daring to look him in the eyes. She lifted the plate carefully, trying not to shake, but the spoon rattled against the bowl. The cook rolled his eyes. "What's wrong with your hands? Are you sick or just clumsy?" he snapped. Mia whispered, "Sorry. I'll do better." But inside her mind, she was screaming. She walked out with the tray, but her thoughts kept drifting into small flashbacks, tiny moments she wished she could erase. She remembered leaving home early that morning. The sky was still dark. She had walked out quietly so she wouldn't wake the person sleeping in the other room. She remembered the bruise on her wrist, still fresh from the night before. She had covered it with makeup, but makeup could not hide the pain. She remembered her mother lying in a hospital bed, weak and pale. The bills were huge. Mia was working 3 jobs just to keep her mother alive. But the person she lived with never helped. Instead, he controlled her, shouted at her, and blamed her for everything. That bruise on her wrist was his anger. A customer yelling pulled her back into the present. "Miss, I said no onions. Are you even listening?" a man shouted. Mia blinked quickly. "I'm sorry, sir. I'll fix it right away." She took the plate back, her cheeks burning with embarrassment and shame. She wished she could disappear. She wished people could understand that she was trying her best, but she also knew they never would. Except one person. Lily. Every time Mia walked past the little girl's table, she could feel Lily's eyes following her. But it wasn't the rude kind of staring. It was soft. It was observant. It was almost protective. Lily didn't know Mia personally. She didn't know her story. But she knew something was wrong. Children have a special way of seeing through fake smiles, something adults forget as they grow older. Mia returned with the corrected plate, and as she placed it down, Lily leaned toward her again. "Your eyes look sad," Lily whispered. Mia froze for a second. Her heart skipped a beat. How could this small girl see what everyone else chose to ignore? Mia gently smiled, a smile that was thin and broken. "I'm okay," she whispered. But Lily didn't believe her. Lily's mother finally looked up with a gentle scolding tone. "Lily, stop bothering her." "She's not bothered," Lily said softly. "She's hurting." Mia felt tears push against her eyes, but she forced them back. She had become too used to pretending. She walked away quickly before her emotions could catch up. Back near the kitchen door, she heard 2 waitresses whispering. "Did you see Mia's wrist?" "Yeah, looks bad. She probably tripped again. Or maybe she's lying about something." They giggled. Mia kept her face straight, but those words stabbed her deeper than they knew. People saw her bruises, but they created their own stories. Stories that made her look weak, clumsy, or irresponsible. No one ever asked the truth. No one wanted to know. Except Lily. As Mia passed by again, Lily tilted her head. "Why are you scared?" the little girl whispered under her breath. Those 4 words hit Mia harder than any insult. Why was she scared? Why couldn't she speak up? Why did she keep hiding? She didn't know the answer. But Lily's eyes said something Mia desperately needed. "You don't have to hide from me." And for the first time that day, Mia felt seen. She didn't know it yet, but this little girl was about to uncover a truth that would change everything. Mia stepped back into the restaurant floor, trying to hide the heaviness growing inside her. She kept her shoulders down, her eyes low, and her steps quiet. The crowd was getting louder, the complaints sharper, and the pressure heavier. But she kept moving, because she had no other choice. The dinner rush had fully taken over the place. Plates clattered, chairs scraped the floor, and impatient voices filled the air. The restaurant was alive, but Mia felt dead inside. She went to table 7, where a middle-aged man sat with crossed arms and an annoyed expression. "Finally," he snapped. "What took you so long?" Mia swallowed hard. "I'm sorry, sir. It's very busy." "Busy?" he interrupted loudly. "Then hire more people. Not my problem." Other customers turned to stare. Mia felt heat rising in her cheeks. Once again, she kept her head low and said softly, "I understand, sir." But the man wasn't done. "And look at this spoon," he said, lifting it. "It has a water spot. Do you people even clean anything here?" The manager, hearing the complaint, walked over quickly. His tone was sharp as he looked at Mia. "Why wasn't this polished? How many times do I have to tell you to check everything?" I did check," Mia whispered. "Don't argue. Fix it," the manager ordered, turning away. Customers watched the scene like it was entertainment. Not even one person stepped in to defend her. Except Lily. At her table, Lily sat completely still, her eyes fixed on the waitress like she was watching a movie no one else understood. She saw every little detail, the tremble in Mia's fingers, the hurt in her face, the bruise she tried to hide, the fear in her voice. Her mother, noticing Lily's deep stare, touched her shoulder. "Sweetheart, Why are you so focused on her? Lily replied without looking away, because she's sad. And everyone keeps making her more sad. Her mother smiled softly. Oh, honey, life is just hard sometimes. People are tired. But Lily shook her head. No. This is different. Nobody should be treated like that. Meanwhile, the scene at table 7 continued. Mia came back with a new spoon and placed it on the table carefully. But the man pushed the spoon aside and said, "Forget it. I lost my appetite." His wife looked embarrassed, but she didn't say a word. Mia whispered, "I'm sorry, sir," then stepped back. She bit the inside of her cheek to stop her eyes from watering. Not here. Not now. Not in front of them. As she turned, her foot caught on a misplaced napkin on the floor. The tray in her hand wobbled. For a second, she fought for balance, but the drink slipped. One glass fell, shattering loudly on the tiles. A loud gasp spread across the restaurant. Someone laughed. Someone sighed loudly. The manager marched over angrily. "Mia! What is wrong with you today?" he shouted. I'm sorry," she whispered, bending quickly to pick up the pieces. But her hands were shaking so badly that she almost cut herself. The manager groaned. "Stand up. I'll get someone else to clean this. You're just making a bigger mess." His words were loud enough for every table to hear. Mia stood slowly, feeling small, feeling invisible, feeling broken. But she wasn't invisible. Not to Lily. The little girl stood up from her chair and whispered to her mother, "I have to help her." Her mother quickly pulled her back. "No, sweetie. Sit down." But Lily's eyes remained on Mia, soft, worried, and full of questions. She had never seen an adult look so scared. She had never seen someone smile with so much pain behind it. As Mia stepped away from the broken glass, Lily noticed something new, a small tear slipping from the waitress's eye. It was quick, barely visible, but Lily saw it. "She's crying," Lily whispered. Her mother looked but only saw Mia turn her back. "No, Lily. She's just stressed," she said. But Lily knew what she saw. The restaurant returned to its noisy rhythm, but the air around Mia felt heavier than before. People went on with their meals, their jokes, their conversations, completely unaware of the storm inside the young waitress. Except for one small girl. One girl who watched more closely than anyone else. One girl who saw what grown-ups refused to see. And soon, that girl was going to step into Mia's life in a way that no one expected. Mia tried to keep herself steady as she walked toward the kitchen. Her legs felt weak, her heart felt heavy, and her mind felt crowded. Every complaint, every shout, every rude comment, each one stacked like a weight on her chest. She wanted to disappear. She wanted to hide somewhere quiet and safe. But there was no escape for her. Not in her life. Not tonight. She stood near the kitchen door for a moment, pretending to check an order slip, but really just trying to breathe. She closed her eyes for a second, and in that tiny moment, she wished for a miracle. A break. A breath. A sign that life wasn't always going to be this cruel. But life didn't give her miracles easily. "Mia! Stop standing there like a statue," the manager shouted from across the room. His voice hit her like a slap. She opened her eyes quickly. "Yes, sir," she whispered, though her voice nearly broke in the middle. She picked up a tray with 3 drinks and walked back into the crowded seating area. Her hands trembled again, but she forced a small smile onto her face. A fake smile. One she had practiced many times. Across the room, Lily saw her. The little girl sat straight up on her chair. Her eyes widened when she saw Mia's shaky hands. "Mom," she whispered, "she's going to drop it." Her mother shook her head. "No, sweetheart. She's fine." But Lily didn't blink. She watched every step Mia took. The restaurant floor was busy. Someone pushed their chair back without looking. Mia tried to move around, but the tray tilted. She gasped softly as the drinks began to slide. The next second felt like slow motion. One glass slipped off the tray. Then the second. And then the third. They hit the floor with loud crashes, water splashing, glass scattering everywhere. The room went silent for a heartbeat. Then came the reactions. "Oh great, really? Does she not know how to hold a tray? What kind of service is this?" Someone even laughed. Mia froze. Her throat tightened. Tears burned the corners of her eyes. Before she could stop herself, a tear rolled down her cheek. The manager stormed toward her. "Mia! How many mistakes will you make tonight? I'm sorry, she whispered, her voice trembling. Sorry doesn't clean the floor, he snapped. Mia nodded and quickly bent down to pick up the broken pieces. Her fingers shook so hard she almost cut herself. The room buzzed with irritation and whispers. And then, something unexpected happened. A small figure stood up. Lily. The little girl slipped out from her chair before her mother could stop her. She walked across the restaurant floor, past the staring customers, past the shocked staff, and stood right beside Mia. The entire restaurant stared. Mia looked up slowly, confused and embarrassed. Sweetheart, please go back to your table, she whispered softly. But Lily shook her head. She bent down next to Mia and said in her tiny, gentle voice, You don't have to pick that alone. The customers around them exchanged confused looks. Mia couldn't speak. Her lips trembled. No one had ever stood up for her, not at work, not at home, not anywhere. And now here she was, a little girl trying to help her in the middle of chaos. Lily looked at the manager and said, She is trying. Why are you shouting at her? Gasps spread across the room. The manager's face turned red. Young lady, this is not your business. But Lily didn't step back. It is, she said softly. Because she's scared. Her hands shake because she's scared. And you're making it worse. Her mother hurried forward, embarrassed and worried. Lily, come back right now. But Lily didn't move. She kept her eyes on Mia, warm, steady, full of something that felt like courage. Mia's heart cracked open. She looked at the little girl, and for the first time in a long time, she felt seen. Lily whispered only for Mia to hear, I know someone hurt you. Mia's eyes widened. Her breath caught in her chest. No one had ever dared to say that. No one had ever noticed. But Lily had. And in that single moment, something shifted in the air. The restaurant wasn't just a place of noise anymore. It had become the stage for a truth that was finally coming out. The restaurant had never felt so silent. All the noise, all the laughter, all the complaints, everything disappeared the moment Lily whispered those words to Mia. I know someone hurt you. Mia felt the world stop around her. Her hands froze above the broken glass. Her heart thumped so loudly that she could hear it in her ears. She looked at the little girl with wide eyes, shocked, scared, and confused. How could this child see something that even adults refused to notice? Lily's mother rushed forward and gently grabbed her daughter's shoulder. Lily, you don't talk like that to strangers. Come now. But Lily didn't move. She kept standing beside Mia like she was protecting her. She's not a stranger, Lily said softly. She needs help. People at nearby tables leaned in, curious. Some looked guilty. Some looked annoyed. But no one said a word. Mia opened her mouth to speak, but no sound came out. She felt small, fragile, like a leaf shaking in the wind. She had spent years hiding her pain. She had learned how to smile through fear, how to bury bruises under makeup, how to say I'm okay even when she wasn't. But Lily had peeled away her mask with just one sentence. The manager stepped forward, clearly uncomfortable. This is nonsense, he said. Mia, tell them the girl is mistaken. We don't need drama here. Mia wiped her cheek quickly, trying to stop her tears. Sir, I. But she couldn't speak. Her voice was trapped behind the fear she carried every day. Lily stepped closer to Mia and gently touched her hand. You don't have to be scared, she said. I can see you're hurting. That touch, that small, innocent touch, broke the last piece of strength Mia was holding on to. Her lips trembled. Her eyes filled. Then finally, her walls collapsed. I'm sorry, Mia whispered in a shaking voice. I'm trying. I really am. No, sweetheart, Lily said softly. You don't have to say sorry. The entire restaurant watched in silence. Mia took a deep breath, a painful, heavy breath she had carried for years. She looked at her trembling hands, then at Lily's kind eyes, and something inside her shifted. I didn't drop the drinks because I'm careless, Mia said softly. My hands, they shake because I'm scared all the time. The manager frowned. What does that mean? Mia took another breath, then finally said the truth she had never said out loud. I work 3 jobs, because my mother is sick in the hospital. The bills are too high. And at home, I don't have peace. Her voice cracked. There is someone who hurts me when things go wrong. Gasps filled the room. Lily's mother covered her mouth, shocked. A couple at the nearest table looked down in shame. Even the rude man from earlier lowered his eyes, guilty. Mia continued, her voice barely above a whisper. I hide the bruises. I hide everything. I keep working so I can save my mom. But I never get kindness. I never get understanding. I only get blamed. A tear fell down her cheek. I'm always scared, she whispered. For a moment, no one moved. Then Lily did something unexpected, something that melted every heart in the room. She stepped forward and wrapped her small arms around Mia. Mia froze. No one hugged her anymore. No one held her. No one comforted her. But this little girl hugged her without hesitation, without fear, without judgment. You're not alone, Lily whispered. I'm here. The restaurant watched a scene they'd never forget, a child comforting an adult. A moment that felt pure, honest, and powerful. Lily's mother walked forward slowly, tears in her eyes. Mia, why didn't you tell anyone? Because no one ever asked, Mia whispered. Those words hit everyone like a stone. People realized how blind they had been. How quick they were to judge. How easily they hurt people without knowing their story. The manager cleared his throat, embarrassed, suddenly looking much smaller than before. The rude man at table 7 pushed his chair back, shame covering his face. Customers exchanged quiet, guilty looks. For the first time that night, they all saw Mia not as a waitress, not as someone to blame, but as a human being with pain, fear, and a story. A story no one had cared to hear until now. But that was about to change. Because Lily's simple act of kindness was about to start something bigger than anyone expected. The restaurant stood in complete silence. Every person there had heard Mia's truth, and it settled heavy in the air. What started as a normal evening had turned into a moment no one would forget. Mia slowly stood up from the floor, wiping her tears with the back of her trembling hand. Lily still held her other hand tightly, as if she refused to let her fall back into the darkness she came from. The manager cleared his throat, suddenly looking unsure of himself. Mia, you should have told us, he mumbled. Mia gave a tired, broken smile. Sir, people usually only want my work, not my story. He looked down, ashamed, unable to meet her eyes. Lily's mother stepped closer. Mia, you don't deserve to suffer like this. You shouldn't face everything alone. Those words were gentle, a kind of gentleness Mia had not felt in a long time. She blinked hard, trying to stop more tears from coming. A woman at the next table spoke softly, You're stronger than you think. Another customer, an older man, stood up and took out his wallet. We should help her. She's been doing her best. Heads nodded around the room. Someone placed a tip on the counter. Then someone else. And then more and more. Within minutes, a small group formed around Mia. People offered money, support, and kind words. One woman said, Use this for your mother's medicine. Another added, And if you ever need a place to stay, I work at a community shelter. We can help you. A man from across the room said, We can report the person who hurt you. You don't have to stay scared. Mia felt overwhelmed. Her heart raced, not with fear, but with something she had long forgotten. Hope. She looked at Lily, who was still holding her hand. Why did you help me? Mia whispered. Lily smiled softly. Because no one else saw you. But I did. Those simple words touched Mia deeper than anything else. From a child's heart came the courage adults had forgotten. The rude man from earlier walked toward Mia. His face was red, embarrassed and guilty. I'm sorry, he said quietly. I spoke to you rudely. I shouldn't have. Mia nodded softly. It's okay. No, he insisted, shaking his head, it's not.